What's up everybody? My name is Scott Paddock and today I'm going to show you 7 different alternate fingerings that will make your sax technique sound a lot cleaner. Your saxophone is built with several different alternate fingerings that make things like trilling or jumping to awkward intervals a whole lot easier. In this video, I'm going to show you some of those alternate fingerings and tell you how to use them. The first alternate fingering I'm going to show you is the fork F sharp. The fork F sharp should be used when you're trilling between an F natural and an F sharp. So when you go between an F and an F sharp, normally you would go back and forth like this, flip-flopping between these two fingers. So when you do that, it's not going to sound clean. It just doesn't sound clean. So the alternate fingering is called the fork F sharp, and that's when you finger an F and you use your third finger to hit this key right here. So I'm going to use my F fingering and hit that fork F sharp. It's called a fork because your hand kind of looks like a fork when you're doing it. Fork F sharp. So this is what it looks like and sounds like. That's a lot cleaner than. And that fork F sharp will work in both octaves. The next alternate fingering is for your G sharp. When you play a G sharp, you have 1, 2, 3 plus the top table key, which is known as the G sharp key. But if you're going from a low note like a C sharp or a B, that fingering is really awkward because you have to go from a fingering like this and then switch to the G sharp. Which doesn't work very well at all. But when you play your G sharp, you can actually use any of these table keys and it will play a G sharp. So I can finger my G sharp like this, the normal way. Or I can hit the C sharp key, or the B key, or the B flat key. So if I'm going from a low note like a low C sharp to a G sharp, and I finger that G sharp with the C sharp key, it is going to be a whole lot cleaner. So this alternate fingering works really well when you're going from a low note into a G sharp. So here's a C sharp to a G sharp, a B to a G sharp, and a B flat to a G sharp. The next alternate fingering is your B flat. Now there are 2 really common ways to play a B flat. You can use A with the side key, which of course is 1, 2 plus your bottom side key. Or you can use your bis B flat, which is your B key with the little key, which is known as the bis key, right below it. So both of those are B flats. Now the rule is if you're playing scale-wise motion, like A, B flat, C, then you would want to use your A with the side key. And if you're jumping to the B flat, like a G to a B flat, then you'd want to use the bis key. However, it is very common for people to only use the bis key, but you're going to have much cleaner technique if you can use the A with the side key B flat as well as the bis B flat. Now, there is a third B flat, which I don't like to teach, but it is very useful when it comes to a grace note. And that B flat is 1 and 1. So it's your first finger on each hand. That B flat isn't in tune, it's not as stable. Your bis and your A with the side key are a lot better. But if you're playing a grace note, that 1 and 1 B flat works really well. If you're playing quickly between a B and a C, or you're trilling between a B and a C, that can get really sloppy really quick because you're flip-flopping back and forth between these 2 fingers, these 2 keys. Luckily, we have the side C. The side C is on the side of your saxophone, which is why it's called a side C, and it's this middle key right here. So what you're going to do is finger a B and then hit your side C key, and that will give you a C. Let me stand up so you can see my fingers a little better. So I'm hitting this key right here with the knuckle of my finger. So that's a really clean way to go back and forth between your B and your C, especially if you're trilling. That works in both octaves, so you can play that on your high B and C as well. The 5th alternate fingering is your front F. If you're thinking about how to finger a high F, normally you would think all 3 palm keys plus your E key on the side, and that would sound like this. But there is another way to finger your high F, and this comes in handy if you're coming from a C or when you're going up to altissimo or coming down from altissimo. So if you finger your high C, which of course is just your second finger, and you use your first finger and you hit the front F key, so that is the little teardrop key that is above your B key, that gives you a high F. So I'm going to play a C and then the front F. So I'm playing my C and hitting that front F key. We're going to use that front F key in the next two alternate fingerings as well. So the next alternate fingering we're going to talk about is your front E. So the front E is fingered just like the front F, so C plus the front F key, but you also add your G key, so your third finger on your left hand. So that is the same as 1, 2 plus your side E key. Now, these front fingerings are really useful if you're going up into the altissimo. If you're going up into the altissimo or coming down from the altissimo, you're going to want to use the front F and the front E. It makes it a whole lot easier. If I use those palm keys, they work, but the fingerings are a lot more awkward. This is going up into the altissimo using my palm keys. It's really awkward because I'm going from this to that. Let me stand up so you can see my fingers a little better. I'm going from this, which is the regular F, to that. And it's nearly impossible to get there and make it sound clean. However, with my front F, it's super easy. The last fingering is your front F sharp. It is fingered just like the front F, except you add on your high F sharp key. So let me stand up so you can see what that fingering looks like. We have the front F, and then we add this key. Now, only modern saxophones have this key. If you don't have that key, I'll show you another way to play a front F. So I'm going to play an F and then add this key. This is called your high F sharp key, and you're going to hear the pitch change from the F into the F sharp. Now, if you don't have this key, you can use your bottom side key, which is your B flat side key. For vintage saxophones or beginner saxophones, you're going to need to use that B flat fingering, that side B flat fingering, because they don't come with the F sharp key. And again, just like the front E and the front F, you're going to want to use this front F sharp when you're going up into the altissimo or coming back down. So those are 7 alternate fingerings that you can use to really clean up your saxophone technique. If you're trilling between those notes or you're doing some of these intervals, if you use these alternate fingerings, it's going to make it way easier to play and it's going to sound a whole lot better.